Vag, vag, vag. What you gonna do when it's hot outside? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag. What you gonna do when the trains are down? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag.
All right. Hi, guys. We're back. Vag.
Another episode of Vag here.
We're in our
Another
guest's apartment.
another location.
Yeah.
Are we taping this?
Yeah, we are.
Nice.
So it's good.
Let's introduce our guest. Very fun. This is why we suck at this. This is why
so different.
We don't know how to do any of this.
Well, first of all, it feels like our guest is actually the host of our show.
Yeah, she seems like she's better at this than us.
Yeah.
We're gonna actually give you the show.
That's fine.
Yeah, guys, let's hear it for Tracy Carnazzo.
Why is no one clapping?
I am.
Okay.
Yay.
I was going to say, because you said, let's hear it. Like they were going to make it.
Let's hear it
you
for
know.
the boys.
Like they were going to make a noise and they weren't.
Do.
I feel like I'm a bossy person and people always think that I'm hosting their podcast.
That's all true.
I wouldn't say
But
bossy
not
in a bad way.
Yeah, I'd say it's like you're getting stuff done.
I'm like a
Yeah.
take
You
charge.
know your
where me and
shit.
Sarah are like, we'll do
Whatever.
it.
Right. Like no matter what podcast I go on, I'm like, oh, no.
Well, I had this the other day at the
Take
show.
charge.
The guy
Yeah.
that was emceeing it, he botched my name up, and I don't even really care. And then he's
Right.
like, "I'm so sorry for not pronouncing your name." And I was like, "It doesn't matter. No one cares. Like, it's fine."
Right.
And then 5 minutes go by. I'm just looking at my phone, and then he comes back. He's like, "I don't want to be a bother, but I think you should care about your name being botched up."
That's weird.
Isn't that weird?
It's weird that he wants you to care about
Maybe he
his-
was like into, what's that, like S&M? Like he wanted you to hit him?
I guess so. I don't know. Well, first of all, it's like, well, don't you tell me how I should feel about something.
Maybe he wanted you to humiliate him because he gets off on that.
Oh, he might have.
Maybe.
Some people are like that.
I did not know that. Maybe I should.
He's like, I said your name really bad, Sarah.
I mean, my name is spelled horrifically on that flyer tonight. There's like, I mean,
Pronounce
is
how
it?
it was spelled.
it has the right letters.
Right, they're
It
just not-
It's not enough of the letters, and they're not. But like somebody wrote to me, it's like,
Are there
this is
3 C's in a row?
There's 1 C. I think there's 2 P's, which is wrong.
Yeah.
Is it? Let's see. I'm gonna pronounce it the way it's on the flyer. Yeah, there's not enough C's, too many P's.
And then the first name I think is also messed up.
Oh,
The
that's
first name
best.
is your Adrienne.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's a good name.
it's close.
Yeah.
It's very close.
My name is spelled correctly, which is honestly never happens.
Yeah.
I didn't even see you on the lineup. Did they do a new one?
Yeah, they did. So they
that's
put it
good.
out, and then moments later, it was corrected.
Yeah.
Moments later, because I was like, "Hey, am I not on this show?"
That's like breaking news.
Well, you guys
Yeah.
also have first names too that also could be spelled like where I was like for the longest time I'm like, is it 2 N's or 1 N?
yeah.
And then yours is there an E?
There's
or
an
no
A.
E.
There's an A because
Yeah.
my mom didn't know how to spell my name. She named me after Tracy on The Young and the Restless.
Oh, I love that.
Which one was that? The blonde, right?
Yeah.
I used to watch Young and the Restless.
Me too.
And wasn't
I
her,
love that.
What was her husband's name?
Tracy's husband, I don't remember. I just remember Victoria and Victor.
I was thinking of Victor.
And then Nick. You remember Nick? He was the hot one, the son.
I never watched that. Mine was Days of Our Lives.
Oh, you were a
Did you
Did you
different.
ever watch The Bold and the Beautiful?
That came on after
That's how I got
Young and the
into
Restless,
that.
and there used to be crossovers sometimes, kind of like how the Flintstones and the Jetsons crossed over sometimes.
Yeah.
And so, like, once in a while, I remember The
Weird.
Bold and the Beautiful. It was like a plus size woman with like big hair that like reminded me of my grandmother. She'd be like, "Oh, darling."
I gotta look up some of these people now.
Well, when
Ooh,
you tell me
Thorne. Remember him from The
No.
Bold and the
that's
Beautiful?
that's a good name for a
Thorne.
soap opera
Yeah.
for a guy.
Thorn.
Yeah.
That's like a.
It's like a romance novel name.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
He just comes in and swoops you up and just like thrusts inside of you.
Wow.
Young
You know,
and
Sarah, this is too much for me right now. I'm having like sex dreams about comics. Like this isn't good. Like
Oh,
my life has hit
God.
rock bottom right now. And so you describing the thrusting, I'm just getting caught up in it.
Have you ever, you know what's fun is to actually try to write sex novels.
Like erotica?
Erotica.
Do you write it?
No, but I remember as a kid, my sister and I would, and we would make each other laugh by writing it. And then my dad found it, and I was so mortified.
Yeah, that's a lot because that's not just.
I mean, we were young.
That was from your mind.
Yeah, and that's from a kid's mind.
Did you get
that
things
should be
wrong?
a TV show. I mean, probably, most likely.
I would have loved if you kept it and we could read it.
I wish
your erotica.
writing erotica. Well, first, remember there was Sweet Valley High.
Yeah.
So then they got,
Yes.
when they made it into high school, they got more adult, where there was one where Jessica, I think, was the hot twin.
Mm-hmm.
She lost her virginity, and my sister and I would reread the part where she loses it in the
Oh my God.
sexiest way that we could. Then this could be a tear.
Oh yeah, I'm
As
gonna
well.
find something like that. What's her name?
The book, it's Sweet Valley High, and
Jessica loses her virginity.
Jessica loses her virginity. And it was like a
Was
guy
it
with a
rape?
mustache who probably was also in high school.
She
It
got-
wasn't
She
raped.
got me too'd. She got me
In
too'd.
the 80s, there were a lot of mustaches in high school.
Yeah. Where
I went to all female school.
There were probably a
Super
lot of
lot of
mustaches there too.
That's good
Were there a
point.
lot of Italians and Puerto Ricans?
Of course.
Yeah, that was-
It was the Bronx.
There were equal mustaches in 80s high
I'm
school and then also a girls' school.
how mortifying, because I remember seeing guys in high school where the principal would be like, son, you need to shave your mustache because you weren't allowed to have facial hair. That you wonder if that happened to girls.
Right, like they let me rock my mustache in high
Yeah,
school.
I just used to use Jolene.
Yeah, but a lot of
You
women, I
dyed
feel
it.
like when you go to a girls' school, I mean, you went to one, I didn't, but like all my friends that went to girls' school, almost all of them are lesbians now.
I don't know any lesbians from high school that I went to. Everyone that I see on Facebook is straight.
Really? All my friends that I went to grade school with that went to Mary Lewis High School, which was all girls, it's my dyke crew.
Oh, I don't have any dykes that I
Yeah,
know from
all
high
of them. I
school
mean, they're
or
like
grammar
all the way,
school.
like they're wearing flannel, they're marrying women, they're, there's a lot of in vitro going on right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
There's also, feels like a lot of cheating in the lesbian
Oh,
community.
really? I don't see, not in my lesbians.
Yeah, we just had one. It was a girl that we played soccer with. Her wife posted about the girl that we know and how she was just cheating
Oh my God.
rampantly everywhere, even on vacation.
What a soccer bitch.
I know.
What is like putting a strap on and fucking someone, or just
Yeah.
I guess eating someone out.
Yeah, and maybe a lot of
Fingering.
emotional.
I
Like
think
a lot
that
of emails.
I think with
and-
women, it's probably a lot more emotional.
Yeah,
stuff
like
than,
telling them that
actual
you love
sex.
them.
and that you want to have a baby with them.
Right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I want to get sperm donated to me with you.
Yeah.
And then you like fight over whose egg you're going to use.
And you're like, definitely yours.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I was a lesbian, I would want to carry the baby, I think. But I wouldn't want to use my...
Well, then you could use that in the argument, and you'd have more power in the relationship.
right. Because then I'd be like, I carried your
I
baby.
think you'd only
for
have more. I think you'd only have more power over the baby, but like not over me.
I don't want the baby. I want to give birth, though.
Why?
Because I've always wanted to give birth, but I don't want a baby
Be
at
a
the end of
surrogate.
that. You can't do that unless you've had your own natural birth. Yeah, successfully.
They don't
Okay,
know
so
what-
have
if
a
you can have-
baby, give it up for adoption, then be a surrogate.
That's a lot of pregnancy. I want to be pregnant
also,
one time.
also, how do they know that if you've had a baby or not before? Can't you just lie? You could forge
I
documents.
think the baby leaves stuff in there behind that you know.
Like a
Oh.
leg?
Yeah.
Or like a little symptom.
Or maybe like a trail, like they did to get back to that house.
like some fingernail.
You think that they're
nail
gonna, like,
markings on your uterus?
Fingerprint my uterus?
Yeah.
And be like,
We're
there's
the
never
people
been a
that were
baby in
leaving
here.
breadcrumbs to go back to the house. What fairy tale was that?
Hansel and Gretel?
Yeah.
You think there's going to be breadcrumbs?
I just want to say that we are scientists and we know exactly what we're talking about.
We're not scientists.
Yeah. No one said that we weren't.
Yeah. I mean, I went to school and I took earth science and biology.
Good to know.
I don't remember any of that.
I was in
stuff.
honors biology.
Well, I read a lot
God.
of
I hate
YM
science.
questions growing up.
Ooh, that was
What's
a good
YM?
mag.
Is that like a
Young
magazine?
magazine.
Ooh,
Yes.
was that like
Young and
Tiger
Modern.
Beat?
What?
Didn't Tiger Beat have a
Yeah, but Tiger Beat was more like for the pop culture. YM was more like the 17, like giving you advice, right?
My favorite part of YM was most embarrassing moments, and it was always about having their tampon string hanging out of their bathing suit.
or like
what the
bleeding
guy
through
that
your
they liked.
pants.
Yeah.
and the guy saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, and I always was like, this is the kind of content that I like.
Yeah, and what would be your response to that? My response would be to take some masking tape and just tape it to your pussy.
Yeah. Or
I
I would
would-
say cut your string shorter.
That's also good.
Ooh.
But it's
Or-
not like, it'd be really funny to buy tampons that have such super long strings, and it's up to you to.
And you could just like wear it, like you could keep it on your wrist like a leash.
Or be nice if
So you
they
could pop it out.
Like when you're on the treadmill and they give you like, do you remember like
The
back in the
emergency
day?
stop.
The emergency stop. You could tie it around your wrist, and then when you're like, oh my god, I think I'm gonna hook up with this guy, you just tug on your wrist and it flies out.
Yeah, and then you're
or
ready to
it's
go.
long enough and you could just tie it around your waist like a belt.
Yeah,
It's a
like
fashion
lots
statement.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, oh my god, is she on her period, or is that just
A fashionable belt.
a cotton white rope belt?
You don't
Yeah.
know.
I would love to see that as an art piece, a belt with tons of used tampons hanging from them.
First of all, we could do that. We could get a piece of canvas and then just put everyone's used tampons on it and call it art.
People do that. That's the thing. It's they
Somebody's
paint
already
with,
done it.
yeah, they paint with menstrual blood.
Yeah.
No. I just want the tampons on.
There's a
there.
comic that used to do that.
We could maybe, you know how that banana that was taped to a wall
Yeah.
at Art
Yes.
Basel sold for what, 120,000?
Yeah.
We could do that with our tampons.
And then we could also take condoms with cum in them and put them on the wall too.
I have access to none of these things.
First of all, we could use Cetaphil for cum. It
Oh,
looks
true.
Exactly the
What's
same.
Cetaphil?
It's like
To
the
wash your face.
it's like a
Oh,
cleanser that's
that's
very
right.
cum-like.
It's
It
almost
very-
it's almost the same consistency.
You're almost like, is this cum?
but it's not hot.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
cum.
Oh, it was in
cool,
the
it's
bottle.
like cum cooled off.
Well, I always thought that would be a really good practical joke in hotels is like now that they're using the shampoos stuck to the wall, if you just put cum in there.
Oh, I don't like that.
That's why it's a practical joke.
Look, you're not gonna have to.
You're
come
like,
to,
I
you're
can't-
Not,
It's a prank.
Don't come to her hotel
Why?
then.
Why is this not rinsing out? That was something that I did in high school a lot. Like if people would pass out, like especially women, if they were pass out drunk at a party or like get too high or whatever. I used to like squirt some conditioner on them and then tell them afterwards when they
cum?
woke up that everyone jerked off on them.
Ooh,
That's
bukkake.
really funny.
Yeah, I did that. I did that so much that people were like,
Until
"Oh, here
you
she
got
goes again."
arrested. And you're like, it's just shampoo.
And then I would also tell people because I did it to one friend in particular so much because she would fall asleep at parties if she drank it all.
Yeah.
And I used to do it so much, but then I used to like keep it going, and then I would tell like other people like, "Oh my god, did you guys see what happened to so and so at this party?" Like everyone came on her.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
she would get. We're not friends anymore. I don't know why.
I
You
remember
should
being
reach out to
I
her.
remember being like 13 years old and going to a party like 8th grade summer during the summer, and that's exact. And I remember the time period because it was when Scenario came out.
What's
Try-
that?
The Scenario by Tribe Called Quest.
Oh,
that
okay.
song. And people paired up in couples and went into this room, and then you went in there, and it just was hot and steamy, and like it smelled like cum.
Oh, like bleach?
Yeah.
Maybe they just did the floors.
I don't think that's what they did. I think it was actual. And then everyone was like, "Whoa, what went on in here?"
I went to a party in 8th grade. We had a half day, and we went to this one girl's house because her parents were going to be home, and
Okay.
everyone else drank, but I didn't because I'm scared. And she blacked out, and she had to go to the hospital and get her stomach pumped.
Oh my God.
And I left because she was throwing up, and I'm not into that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Aren't you freaked out by
Yeah,
that?
I literally was like, "Oh, she's throwing up. I'm leaving."
It's so
Out.
weird that like I mean, I hate throw up also, but like you're fine with just guzzling cum.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather. I'm not like it's not like a thing I do like for a sport.
Yeah.
I know, but to be so like you can't even be around one, and then the other you're okay with just swallowing.
Well, I think you just tolerate cum.
I guess so.
Yeah, it's
It's
I
not
don't
like
know.
we're,
I
like,
haven't seen any in a
craving it.
really long time. To
Cum?
be honest, yeah, like I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Right, like it has to like what you know what I mean. You have to like be in a situation. I feel like you see more in high school.
More cum?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't see any
I didn't
cum
see
in
any
high
in
school.
cum.
Oh,
in
you
high
guys did
school.
not have a fun high school. Maybe in college.
I didn't go to college.
I went to
College
I went to a
age?
lot of colleges.
I mean, to see it, like it has to be out and like you have to be like there. I don't know,
I guess.
but it's also not. I mean, are you comparing cum to vomit?
Now when we're talking about this, now I'm just like, I don't even recall the first time I saw cum.
Really?
No.
I was probably like 18.
Oh, I was. Not.
I didn't even. I did. I know. I know you had a wild childhood.
I peaked at 16.
But when did you have sex at 18? Right?
19.
I had
is
sex
when
at
I first
18.
lost it.
Oh, you guys
Maybe
are.
it was when I lost my virginity, but he couldn't.
He kept all his cum to himself.
Actually, he jerked himself off, and I was so like.
You looked away.
I looked away, so I didn't get to see it.
Don't look at me.
I'm ugly. Don't look at me. Don't look at my
Well,
cum.
it was the night where I was like, I did not expect that I was going to lose my virginity, but it was
Ooh.
one of those times where you're like, Well, I might as well.
You didn't plan it out?
No.
Was it a guy you knew?
It was a guy I knew.
Okay. Were you
and
dating
I knew
him,
he
or-
kind of liked me. I had
Oh.
moved to England after I had an intervention.
Yes.
And then I went to England to just whatever, move away.
What was the intervention? Was that your stripping days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then with the cocaine on the weekend kind of stuff. And so then I went there, and then this guy that would like mow the yard, and then I would see at the pub down the street. His name was Giles. And then
Sarah, this is not a real story.
What a terrible name, Giles.
Sarah,
I don't know what his last
real.
name is, but we're friends on Facebook and Instagram still. But he goes by a different moniker on that one, so you'll never find him, but I'll show you him.
Giles.
And
it like Jeeves?
He took me to the bathroom, and then we just started making out. And then I was also like kind of drunk
Right.
too. And then
How'd that intervention go?
it was great. It was so
So
good.
you were
I learned my lesson.
You were a virgin stripper,
yes,
which is nuts.
I know.
Just
And
the
I
whole
didn't
thing.
even if I would have made so much money if I branded myself that
As
way.
the virgin.
Yeah.
Yes, and I didn't.
You
even
could have sold
dawn
your
on me.
virginity.
I know.
Now that like we monetize everything, just like in our society, like think about all of the things in your child. Like you could have made so much money as like a teen.
Oh yeah. I
mean,
mean,
I'm sure-
I think about all the dirty underwear that I throw
Right?
out that I could just be making money.
What a waste.
I don't even mind if I sold photos of my feet smushing stuff.
I'm into
if
that.
guys jerked off to it. Like
I
I
would-
don't need to know about it just to make money.
I would love to walk on avocados. I
Oh.
love the.
Oh, that's a
I
good-
I love the consistency.
Very lotiony.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
the consistency. That I'd even walk on chopped meat.
I like the chop me thing. Speaking of Patreon, just saying.
yeah. I mean, if it's just your feet and I'm just doing that, then that I could just be called the top tier.
The top tier.
$20.
And we will walk on whatever you want.
Not whatever you want.
Well, not like a
Within
person.
reason.
It has
Within
to
rea-
be like eggs or avocado.
Whatever in our fridge at the time.
Whatever's in our
a
fridge.
regular food item.
Yeah.
Nothing
Right.
crazy.
Or like leaves.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about leaves. I don't want to walk on leaves.
I don't mind that.
You're not even doing it.
Okay, I'm just saying. Whatever.
I'm
Whatever,
willing to
guys.
walk
If
on
you don't
le-
want to make extra
I'm willing
money.
to walk on leaves.
Okay, well,
Like,
you
I
can do
don't-
whatever you want.
That's the thing where like I don't have a problem doing that, but it just feels like Joe would have an issue of knowing that guys are jerking off to my.
You don't
foot.
They
have to
might be
tell
just jerking off
everything.
to this
know.
video.
It could be my secret.
Your secret
Hobby.
secret.
Yeah.
Your extra money.
I mean, I don't know what they tell you in marriage school.
I don't know. I think sometimes you should have some secrets.
You should have secrets. Be like, this is what I was doing to buy you your Christmas gift. That's why I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you.
I got us out of our debt.
Debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I paid off your
guys-
loans, Joe.
It's like I don't know that they're. I don't. You should
She's
be
like,
like.
what?
You should.
loans?
You should be like. Well, I don't know that they're jerking off. I just know that they like watching.
They like
this.
looking at it.
Yeah.
Maybe it just brings a child joy.
Yeah, and it's
I don't want
just
to
my
get into
feet.
child pornography.
Maybe the kid, no, but like maybe the kids like are, sick and they're like, what could we, what would bring us joy? Like maybe you could bring a puppy into pet, or maybe you want to watch Sarah walk on leaves.
yeah.
You don't know what these people's wishes are.
What are some other things we could do?
Well, I know unboxing videos do really well. Like we can
Mm-hmm.
unbox a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. How come those videos do so well?
I don't know.
There's
You
like
know-
a kid making millions of dollars doing that.
Yeah.
You know what a good thing for unboxing is? Like if you move and then you could just like unpack your whole house. Be like, oh, this is front hall closet. Let's see what's in here.
Ooh.
And then you just like unbox it. And,
And then
you're like,
show
oh,
people stuff. It's really
there's
just show and
400
tell like we
yeah.
did when we were kids.
this is 400
Interesting.
picture frames.
Well, that's now when I hang out with my friends that have kids, that what their kids are watching on YouTube is really just kids opening up toys.
Toys.
And playing with them.
Right. There's a kid that's doing that, making millions of dollars.
Yeah, and then we're all like, we got to write this really
How many
with
times have
story
we?
arcs.
Yeah, let's try to
and
sell a pilot.
How many times have we rewritten the Vag pilot?
Yeah, no.
20 million times.
And at this point, when Marlene asks us to redo it, I'm like, I'm not.
I'm done.
You're like, I'm going to Target.
Unless someone gives us money at this point, I'm not rewriting any part of it.
I'm going
I
to
give
Target.
up.
I'm going to buy 4 different bras. I'm going to take them out of the bag on the video. That's what you're getting. That's it, Marlene.
yeah, yeah.
You want another pilot?
That's our
I'm
Vag
giving you
pilot.
an
It's just
unbagging.
we keep because anytime someone's interested in it, they make us rewrite this whole thing. They
Yeah.
never give us money for it. I'm just done with it.
It's like this weird kink that people at their production
maybe they're getting
companies
off to us
have.
working and knowing they're not going to pay us.
You think
could be
that's their
something.
kink?
Yeah, where they're
Yeah.
like, we're
They're
gonna
like-
make these girls spend hours rewriting this, and they're just jerking off to us.
And they didn't
wasting
even read
time.
it in the first place. They're like,
No idea.
They just
Adrian
put it
and
right in
Sarah.
the trash can.
No
page
idea.
3 really needs a rewrite.
And God bless for Marlene, like believing in us so much, but I'm like, I don't believe in us anymore.
Oh yeah, I've let go of the pilot.
I've let go of that.
The only way that will happen is if we're so famous.
Right.
Yeah.
You just
The
unbox shit.
this unbox
Unbox your pilot.
and
Put the
put it in
script.
the fire.
Put the script in a box. Unveil it.
and then read it page by page.
Read it.
Yeah.
Let's just read it page by page.
Do it.
We
Act
can
it out.
do that.
You know what? Have you guys filmed it? You just wrote it, right?
We
just
just wrote
wrote
it.
it.
Let's just film it. I'll
I'm
film it
into
for you. I could
that.
be the iPhone camera girl.
And then we just pretend we're in a cop car and we
Right.
have like fake uniforms on. It's
And
just
then you
it's such like construction paper cutouts.
Oh, we talked
of
about
us.
that last night of the short film of cloning ourselves. Of like, we could just do it where I just have a shoebox with batteries and pretend that that's our special contraption.
Yeah.
And then
We
it's
can
just you.
And then also like you could tell people like when you run into them, you know, like when people are like, oh, what are you working on? What are you doing? You know, you have any projects? And you're like, yeah, I just shot a pilot.
And then it's us in a construction paper.
Right.
Well,
Cop
I
outfits.
was telling somebody
I got a new iPhone, so
Well,
construction paper, and it just says on top cop hat.
yeah.
Like it, none of this is real. We're wearing outfits that just say like a white t-shirt that's like this is a cop outfit.
I think you could do, because I watched a video yesterday that was making me laugh on Twitter. It was it must have been 6 friends pretending they're on a plane doing what it's like when you do airplane mode. Mm-hmm. And I didn't listen to the audio of it, but it's really just them in 4 or 6 chairs next to each other, like a row. Like in
so they're not on an actual plane.
no, they're in their living room. And then I was like, I think it had like close to like several 100,000 views.
you see what I'm saying?
It
What
was
can we
just
do?
funny.
What can we do right
I'll
now?
film your pilot.
Let's pretend we're driving. I'll be right here. You're back there, and then me and you get into a fight.
And then we can read our script.
We could just fight. Like we could have like some kind of like not like porn exactly, because you know how people like they get off to things that are like you were saying the feet stuff. It's not porn. It's just you stepping on
Can we
things.
mash stuff with our hands? That I would like to.
We
do.
could also fight.
Yeah.
Like all 3 of us. Like
Like
we
a
could
fist
do like
fight?
yeah, like but like a light fist fight.
How about a pillow fight?
Or gang initiations do really well online.
What gang are we gonna?
Well, have you ever watched those?
the over the hill sugar, the over the hill sugar gang.
When they're one girl wants to get in the gang and they do a beat down of her, but really they're just kind of like pulling her hair and scratching her. It's vicious. But those videos do
Sarah,
really
what
well.
are you searching?
All right, all right, Tracy, you get on the
They just fall into my lap.
It's like
you
no,
get
I-
on the ground, and we will pretend to beat
Stomp
you.
me.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you're in the vag gang.
You're
yeah.
in the vag gang.
I think we should do like I don't know. I mean, content is king.
It is.
How about you just videotape me on that Stairmaster or whatever that is, elliptical?
It's an elliptical. I
You
put it on
can- you can
Facebook
work out
Marketplace.
in your jeans.
Oh, that's the worst thing to work out in.
I
But
know.
yes,
It makes me laugh when I see people working
or
out
like in
their
construction
jeans.
boots. I've seen people at the gym in construction
You're
boots.
like, what are you doing here?
Also, you're working construction. That's a great workout.
I know that's all you need.
Yeah, like you're already doing the construction. I once had a Bumble profile and I put on
Once?
it. Yeah, one time. And I put in it that it's like, how often do you work out? And I put never. And some guy messages me and he's like, hey, I like how honest you are about never working out. And I was
You
like,
like that?
I was like, I never
so
ever
funny.
work
You're
out.
like, if you like that, I never even clean my house.
Guess what? I've never read a book.
I never pay my taxes.
I never had a job.
I never drive.
And I told him, I was like, you know,
Do you like all of that?
I don't work out, but like sometimes like I walk to my car to like get places.
And was he like, that's too much for me?
He was like, can you lay down?
He's like, I will pull you on a dummy, on one of those like
Yeah.
trolleys.
I was like, this might be the guy for me.
What happened? No.
That was it. And then I just unmatched him eventually because he was being really condescending about comedy.
Ugh.
Be like, you've never even done it.
He was asking me like these comics that I knew. And then he was like, can you just send me a YouTube clip of you? And I was like, oh, no,
Why?
I don't. And then I just unmatched him.
I remember when I first would start dating a guy, I would not ever let them watch me do stand up for the longest
Me
time.
neither.
Yeah.
I never let people watch me do stand up. It's
Especially
the
if
worst.
they weren't a comic. I didn't want them to see me do stand
I
up.
the
feel like
worst.
especially if they are a comic, I feel like non-comics don't know what they're watching.
That's true. I guess because I already knew Joe before we started.
Right.
We already knew each other as comics, so we'd already seen his stand up, so it wasn't that crazy.
Right. But like if I was dating a comic, which I'm definitely not, I would never want him to watch my
What
set.
if you were living with a comic?
If you were which I'm definitely
Can I
not.
Yes.
I mean, it's not mine.
Whose is it? Yours?
fine.
It's Sarah's.
It's our hard drive. My whole life.
Go ahead,
is
lay
in
on
there.
the
Your
hard
whole life
drive.
is on here?
But the last 10 years of everything I've ever created is
What
on
would you
there.
be willing to give me so that I don't smash this on the floor?
I don't know. I mean, I would probably be really upset, but I would let
Do you think
go
our
of it after
do you
a
think our
week.
friendship would make it if I slam this on the floor?
It's hard to say. Honestly, it really is. Like,
Adrian, are you looking for a way out?
I'm just curious. I like to know what the boundaries are. That's so crazy that you have 10 years worth of stuff on here and you're not.
Do you back that up?
Don't you feel like
no, I don't back that.
Oh, I
up.
have two.
What if it
different
lose
backs.
it? What if you lose it?
It's pretty
It's
big.
pretty big. and
No,
I
no,
never. I don't
I
take
mean
it.
like I don't mean lose it like physically. I mean lose it like electronically, like something happens to
I
it.
guess it could happen, but like, how many backups of your backup are you supposed to have?
I just have two. I have two different hard drives. I just get scared.
I don't have one hard drive.
You don't have a.
I don't have anything.
You don't have an original hard drive.
I have
You're like
nothing.
off the grid.
I have nothing.
You should build a computer
Yeah, okay.
from things you have
Give
in
me,
your
some, give me
house.
some construction paper. I'll make one and just write computer.
From just things you have in your house.
That'll
Okay.
be one of our props.
Yeah.
I'll just get a box and write computer on it.
Adrian, you bring the computer.
I used
Yeah.
to want
For
to
the
do
pilot.
that video of Zuzu being my manager.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm just yelling at her.
Yeah.
She's wearing like
Is she smoking?
she has like bead like pearls on and
Uh-huh.
a wig, and she's just like, you need to be more proactive on your social media. And I'm like, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
And she's like this little old lady.
Like how Joey's manager was in Friends?
What was his
Remember
manager in
her?
Oh, I
Friends?
remember her.
What was her manager in Friends?
I don't know what her
remember.
name was, but he used to like call her up and she'd be like, Joey!
Oh yeah,
Gotta
yeah, yeah.
pass like
Estelle,
you.
Estelle.
Yeah, I remember that.
Joey, you got the role!
Like, yeah, it could be like Matt LeBlanc,
I
Yes.
just picture like we take Zuzu to Montreal and she's your manager.
and then she blows up.
Yeah.
She
Yep.
takes on different clients.
You give her like little business cards on the back.
Oh my god, when I went to
Who gives
Montreal.
business cards anymore?
I have business cards. I don't really give them out though
I
because
don't
they have my
give them
phone
out.
number
Okay.
on them.
When I was
Because now you can
when
just
I
find them.
When I first started doing stand up, the guy I was dating was also doing stand up, and he made me business cards.
Yeah.
This is so embarrassing what the business card said.
Oh my God, tell
Do you
me.
have them? We
No.
could put this as an
No.
tier.
I could probably find it, maybe, but it was a picture of me from like a regular picture, like when I went out to like a
Your
club,
prom?
like when I went out to a club. Like I
Uh-huh.
had like a side ponytail and like a bunch of makeup on.
This
it was
is great.
And then it
Yeah.
said it was like a picture of a ticket near it. It said the hottest ticket in town.
Did you break up immediately?
No, I thought it was so nice that he wasted his time and did it.
That's a red flag. Did he print them out on his computer?
Yes.
Oh wow. That's you remember when like
and I handed them out to a couple of people.
well, I mean, listen, you're not doing
Here. Did you like?
I mean,
Whatever
it
I brought on
was so
stage.
hilarious.
your
First,
career's doing fairly well. I can't even knock him.
do you
at
think
this
it's
point.
because of that?
Probably.
The hottest
Yeah.
ticket in
I
town.
can't
I
wait
mean-
until you really blow up and someone digs up their card and they're like, "Wait a minute,
That would be hilarious.
I remember
I would
her.
love
Yeah.
that.
Well, don't you remember when you first start? Like you don't know anything.
No way.
Like I remember my first headshot. I had to take. I was gonna do ground
Oh
lanes,
my god, I'm thinking about the headshots I took.
and I didn't have a professional one, so
Right.
I found a black and white photo. But I also didn't understand like how to print on a computer from the computer and work with dimensions on stuff. I think the headshot, the full 8x10.
Oh, it got like stretched.
was just my face. Like my whole face took up the 8x10.
Oh my God. So it wasn't like proportions.
No.
Okay.
And then I showed up to Groundlings to do the audition. And then you start seeing what everybody else
Right.
is. And then you're like, can I?
Oh my god.
Can I use yours?
I wish I still I wish I still
I'm
had
going to go back to my car and take a better photo really fast.
I
Like,
would
it's
love if I
so
could just use yours.
embarrassing the stuff that, because you don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My profile, my headshots, my mom got done for me. I was probably doing comedy 2 or 3 years.
Right.
So we go into Manhattan on a Saturday, and it's just like I'm wearing this kind of pinstripe black shirt, and this guy's just I'm doing photos, and then at one point I had a construction hat on.
Oh, you did like glamour shots? They were
I don't know,
props?
he was just like
What, were you in a photo booth?
he gave me random hats.
Were you holding like a rubber chicken?
I mean, it was so bad. I think in one of them I'm like, It was
Adrian,
terrible.
where are these headshots?
I think I lost them in the move.
Well, back when you first, like maybe
I mean, so bad.
back in
And they were
that day-
black
yeah.
and white.
Then that's how you can tell when somebody is kind of out of it. If you see they have a black and white headshot.
Well, that's because acting headshots always used to be black
Yeah.
and white.
Yeah,
We
he
used-
was an acting guy.
my first headshots, my friend knew this photographer and she's like, oh, you should use him. He's really great. He does like all these portraits. So I called him and he does it in his house in Brooklyn. So I go to his house and he's like, hey, listen, we got to be pretty quiet. My parents are upstairs.
the best. So you're like,
And his house
professional.
was so dirty.
Yeah.
And he had like 3 cats. And I was like, hey, I'm allergic to cats. Like, I can't stay here for a long time. So he told me that we have to wait for the lights to heat up before we could start shooting. So, and then he gave me like some options of like some lace chokers that he would like me to wear. And I was like, oh, I don't want to wear any of these. It was like some like goth like
Yeah.
accessories. And I was like, I don't want to wear these.
That's hilarious that he was going to give you goth
So
chokers.
he starts
Yeah.
vaping and he starts like blowing all these clouds of smoke. And he's
When
like,
was this?
not long ago enough.
Yeah.
This was maybe like 7 years ago.
Okay. That's on. Yeah. Because I was like, vaping is like a clue to be like, that's kind of recent.
Yeah. So he starts like blowing these clouds of smoke and he's like, all right, as we're waiting for the lights to heat up, let's see how much smoke you want in the room for the headshots. He's like, it's a really
How
nice
long ago was this?
7 years ago. So he's like, let's see, because it's a really nice effect, right?
2012.
I like
Yeah.
that he's using his vape as a smog machine.
He's doing this. So he's vaping at me. He's telling me about how like he usually shoots women nude.
Oh my God, this needs
So
to be a video.
I could change in front of him if I need to change.
Oh yeah,
And I'm
this
like,
is
okay. So
horrible.
now I'm sitting in this stool and I'm like, hey, are the lights hot enough yet? Because I've been here for 45 minutes and I'm really allergic to your cats.
Yeah. So now you're like puffy.
So he's like,
And red
okay.
in the
Yeah, I have
eyes.
like hives. And he's like, okay, well, just give it a few more minutes. He's like, in the meantime, he's like, this craziest thing I found out about me is that my teeth are made of bones. And I'm like, oh, I think everyone's teeth are made of bones. And he's like, no. He's like, my teeth are exceptionally bony. And he takes my finger and puts it in his mouth.
Where the fuck did you meet this guy,
Tracy.
Tracy?
He was Noelle's friend. He puts my finger in his mouth and he's making me touch his teeth. And I have very bad OCD. I feel like I'm going to faint. I don't know what to do. I'm like, are the lights hot enough yet?
I would have just left. I've been like,
I
I'm
was
out,
so
man.
angry. He took like 3 photos of me and he kept telling me about how like he's like, one time he said that there was he said one time he was shooting a nude lady and he had to run like I don't know, there was some kind of an emergency, he had to leave, so the UPS guy had rang the bell to drop off a package. And he said that but the shoot needed to get done, so the UPS guy had some background and camera work, so he had the UPS guy finish the shoot for him. And then
This
by the
sounds
time
like a story that some
God, I
comic
love
would say. This is like insane.
his name is Randy, and I wrote this story out on Instagram and I tagged him in it.
Good.
And he blocked me.
Oh, because now I want to find him.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
will.
wanna find
his
him
name is
too.
Randy, and
Do you
I will.
think he would still do headshots for us?
Yes,
How much does he charge?
maybe like $100.
It's worth it. We could split it 50-50. We'll say we want new pictures for Vag.
You're gonna have to feel his teeth.
That's fine.
There's gonna be a smoke machine. You're gonna have to be nude.
I want all of it. I want all of this. I want to feel his teeth. I want the smoke
This
machine.
is the crazy thing, though. I always feel like guys. I've never hear guys have these kinds of stories.
Could you imagine a
I
guy
know
sitting
they
there? And,
must, but they don't.
I don't think like this.
no.
Yeah.
You think that Randy would have taken some dude's finger and been like,
Push them over his teeth.
"Can I let you?" And he was
Yeah.
gross too. Like he was skeevy.
Of course.
He wasn't like this hot guy where you're like, "Oh, let me
Yeah,
feel your
it's
teeth."
never-
But when you're telling me the story, I'm
I
not
don't-
like, oh, is it Brad? Like it must
I
be
could
Brad
I could
Pitt
probably
as
bring
the-
it up.
I don't picture him being good looking. I will write to him right now and be like, hey, I need some headshots.
Yeah, we heard.
And I'm gonna be like,
Bring the vape machine.
well, I'm gonna say also I want
He's
to
like, obviously, I'm gonna be vaping.
I'm gonna be like, I want to showcase my bony teeth.
And he's gonna be like, "No, your teeth are not bony like mine. Mine are made of bone, very specifically."
What did this guy do for a living? 'Cause
He
it's not-
apparently he
it's
was a
not-
photographer. He told me he was the professor of photography at Kingsborough Community College. I do not think that was real.
I don't even think that's a real college.
I'm gonna text Noel right now and ask his name.
This
That's
guy
such a
sounds like a
crazy
lunatic.
story.
That makes my
How does she recommend him? That's so-
He was like from the neighborhood and he was like taking photos of all of like her friends. He was doing like gothic, like half nude photo shoots of them. And she's like, the photos are great quality.
Who said this, Noelle?
Yeah. And then his mom was like, all right, Randy, enough in the living room.
How old was he?
He was a grown man.
This sounds insane.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well, did you get the photos taken?
I got the photos taken. He took, like there was like one of them that was usable. He photoshopped the shit out of my face. And
do you remember the comedy soapbox?
No.
What was that?
It was something like when I first started where it was run by Steve Hofstetter and another guy who's quit comedy. And it would just be a bitch fest. I remember on there, I was mad one day and I wrote about how I wanted to.
What was it?
Was
it
it
like
a message board?
It was kind of like a message board where they would post some gigs, but not really gigs. It was a lot of like. And one time I wrote an angry post about driving, and I had like a lawsuit from this girl that had hit me, and they were like, "Well, you're an angry driver, so we're gonna drop this lawsuit." And I had to settle out of court. That was the first time I saw like stuff that you say on the internet can be used against you, even if it's a joke.
Wow.
You were big on those comedy message boards.
And there was another one, Comedy Asylum.
Were these message boards? That's what they were?
Comedy Asylum, I think, was a message board, but the Comedy Soapbox had like different states and comics from it, and you could kind of find gigs, and you didn't really find anything. I wonder if it still exists.
Well, that's the thing. I remember those threads, and then you're like, they weren't on Facebook. So now I'm just kind of thinking, how did we get to those threads? It must have been, was it GeoCities or a Yahoo Google or a Yahoo group? Or something?
I just used to have like random message boards. Like for the band that I work for, we had a message board, and that was like my life for a long time.
Yeah, it was the
I
thing.
would just
while
go
you
check and
worked
be
your
like-
job that you would just be on that during the day.
Mm-hmm. I'd be like, I have to see all my friends on this message board.
Yeah, it was pre-Facebook.
I'm looking for my headshot because I had tagged him in it on Instagram.
Well, I know I was standing behind this guy at like a FedEx Kinko's on 8th Avenue near 34th Street. And I had to print a sketch out, and I was standing, and this guy was printing out his headshots, and it looked like his dad had taken it with a Kodak disposable camera in the backyard. And I wanted to be like, you're not going to make it in this business.
A lot of
with
people
that.
still do that though.
Yeah.
You ever like see like a really good comic and they have the worst headshots? You're like, why did you think that was okay?
They just never got the book.
Also,
I'm one of those. I'm one of those people that it just takes forever to be like, oh, I'm going to just do what this person. I just copy what other comics are doing. It's not like I'm just figuring out what to do on my own.
right.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, I guess I'll just go to Mindy or Phil.
Right, but I mean, you have good headshots. Like there are some
It took
people.
me forever. It took me
Who did your
15
headshots?
or no. Phil Provencio did my last ones that I was really happy with, and then I had this girl 10 years prior that I met through Emily Tarver.
Mm-hmm.
And those were pretty decent. But then the one before that I got, I won free headshots when I did Houston's Funniest, and I won that competition. And
Way
then
to
gave me-
brag.
I won't.
I found him.
Oh, let me see. Randy C718.
But those ones were bad. Like I was wearing like a cocktail dress, and I was on a high rise in Houston, and so the wind. It was
like modeling shots.
It was modeling shots
This guy-
rather than straight up stand up, and I think I have them on those.
I like
that
when
head
people
hard
do
drive.
like you know when you go to like the clubs in Long Island and you see these headshots and they're all from like the 70s or the
Yeah.
80s. That's him. I wanna
This is him back in the day, though.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I love the
like,
ones where they are always posing with a microphone.
Yes.
I'm like, this is good.
A lot of it's like this one too, like a chair, and then they're like draped
Yes.
behind the chair.
They're sitting on the chair backwards.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm a cool kid.
Just chill.
yeah.
I remember one time me and Faraz went over the headshots I got before the ones I got that I liked like from 10 years ago. Me and him went to this guy's house. I think he said he was going to charge us like 20 or 40 bucks each.
Ooh.
And it was like a house in Brooklyn, kind of cluttered. And he was like, okay, just sit on the top of the couch. He's like, there's just a regular white wall behind you. That's where we're going to shoot these headshots.
Okay. Did he make you feel his teeth?
He didn't make us feel
You're
his-
winning already. You know
we,
what
did not,
I'm
we did not have to fill his teeth, but it was just so random where he's like, I'm going to just take some pictures. That's like if I sat on your couch and you just shot pictures behind me.
To be honest with you, some of these headshots that I see people use, I'm like, I could shoot that better on my couch.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what
This
you should
was
do.
Randy's headshot of me. There
It's
was
actually not that
well,
bad.
I mean,
It's not that bad, but I see what you mean by the Photoshop. It's now like it looks like you were drawn.
I was drawn.
Yeah.
He almost, you know, like when you see people's pictures and you're like, you filtered your nose off.
Yes, it's
Oh
all
yeah,
bright.
he filtered this
You
a lot.
smoothed your nose right off of your face.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that on people that we follow on Instagram. That
for
I'm
sure.
like this.
It looks
and
like
it's
a
guys.
it looks like a Snapchat filter.
Yes. That was one of my headshots. That was my first comedy headshot. And that was my comedy headshot. I was
Yeah.
just looking deadpan into the
This looks like what you would call your Law and Order.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, do you ever think about like when you get murdered, what pictures they're going to use of you?
Yeah. Probably our headshots.
I hope it's I hope it's a good
like
one
a
though.
casual one on my Instagram one. I don't want a headshot. It seems douchey to have a headshot on your murdered.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like you need to have that available. Like,
Should we just be doing headshots one specific?
Well, I
role
think
of
that
it
you're-
for when we're dead.
Should we just do like you know how when you die they do a chalk of you? Should
Yeah.
we just do photos like that where we're alive and they just could post that?
Yeah.
I think that you just
A
have to be
chalk
really
outline.
careful about whatever you make your profile picture. You have to be okay with that being your murder picture.
I'm actually fine with my new profile pic being my murdered.
Then that's
photo.
fine. But just always keep that
On
in
the
mind
news.
when you do make.
That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
If I get murdered, don't let them play my Netflix thing at the funeral home.
You're degenerates?
Yeah, don't let
You
them
think
play
it's going
it.
to be like a viewing party?
Yeah. No, don't let them do it.
Who's going to do this?
Someone. I've gone to other comics funerals and they have like their Comedy Central special playing.
That is such a
Mm-hmm.
strange thing.
It's better than that than have some random YouTube clip from like 15 years ago
Where
when
you're
you
like,
first started.
You're like, I don't even know how this person made this.
Imagine they
Find
like
this.
How did they make it?
at my funeral they just
comedy.
play like my YouTube clip of me showing my feet on like Real Ass Podcast.
That might be it. Or
Yeah.
just walking,
Right?
me walking on avocado.
I have a video.
We found this on Adrian's Patreon content.
There's a video that I consider my porn tape.
Ooh.
It's Victor Vernado when I first moved here.
Right.
He was like, we were just thinking of or just talking, and he was like, we should do a video of that. And it was American Idol, where I say my talent is that I can barf and diarrhea at the same time.
That's hilarious.
It's still on the web.
Wait,
Oh.
how did you fake
So
do that?
I went over to his apartment, and I didn't think much of it, and I did it.
you
and
know he
it's-
wanted to fuck you, right?
Yeah.
He's married now.
Yeah.
But this is before that.
Oh.
But he's a cross-eyed albino black man. So like,
You're saying that like it's a bad thing.
it's not a bad thing, but it is unique.
Yes. And he'd always be like, a lot of people don't know that I'm black. I'm like, they do know that you're black.
No, they know.
Yeah.
They
I'm like,
definitely
it's not
know.
I don't know why he always thought it was like a mystery. I'm like, no, most people
We know.
Yeah.
I think maybe he meant like people just thought he was white because he was clear.
yeah.
That just reminds me of when my hamster had babies and they were like, you could see their organs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
They're like little
weird.
worms when they get born.
So I did it. It's online, and I remember putting it up.
Can I ask you
He
something?
showed it on a festival, like a short film thing.
Right.
And I showed my friend, and she made me feel bad about it. She's like, yeah, we were just like, why would you do that? And I was like, I have no idea. But now I'm mad at them for expressing that opinion, where I'm like, it's actually pretty harmless. But it's me barfing and vomiting at the same or
Diarrhea.
How are you
Diarrhea.
diarrheaing? Is it just
he
like
just
expletives,
CGI'd like
fake poop?
yeah, just like a like it looks like a brown smoke coming out
Okay.
of my ass, and then I have
Where is this video?
it's on YouTube. Just probably put in Victor Vernado American Idol. If I find it, I will download it and I will put it on the top tier.
Yes, you will.
$8 for people to come look at. Or if you can find it, then you get it for free.
Sure.
I,
What I love is the idea of you fake shitting and him just being behind you, like trying to fake fuck you.
Oh,
and be
yeah.
like, well, this is going to look good in the thing. And you're like, okay.
but, yeah. Fortunately, it didn't go that far, but there is
You
definitely.
could have been Micah. Micah dated him for years.
I know.
What?
Micah Fox? Micah Fox dated Victor Vernado
Yes,
for years.
that's true.
Yep.
Silence.
I don't know.
This was like 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
He's like the
That was
first
a lot
person that
for
I
me.
met when I first came
I think it was
here.
even before that because she dated Mike Kaplan around that time,
Yeah.
2008, 2009. So it might have been like 2005 or 6.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Fox is really funny too.
yeah.
Super.
I want to see if I can find
She's
this
the
video.
best on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a great writer.
She
She's
does-
hilarious.
She does stuff that I'm like this. Oh my God, you're so bad, but I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Like
You're like, that was very inappropriate.
that was vicious, but we love it.
I like when she's very clearly talking about someone very specific.
Yeah, and she's all like, it's funny because she's like produces stuff for Comedy Central, and then she had stuff like, if you want to know where the fun is at, go to the 3rd floor of the roast where we're all shitting on all the comics.
Hilarious.
Oh my God. I just found out so much information right now. My mind just got blown.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Do you know who Victor Bernardo is?
I sure do.
He's like the first guy you meet when you move here. Don't you ever feel like there's always that one guy that you meet? RG Daniels was the other one that was like the first guy they met.
I think they get the itinerary of who's
I think he just waits at the Port Authority.
And then they just know.
like pimps.
Yeah, like how like when you go to Hawaii and they put the lei on your around your neck when you get off the plane.
Yeah.
Like Victor's at the Port Authority, just like, hey, you want to write together?
Yeah, that took me forever. Like,
I just won
writing together with a guy comic did not mean that they are interested in anything that comes out of your mouth.
I just won something.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I'm the 7.38 billionth search.
I feel like that might be spam. I'm just going to
Tracy,
throw it out there.
I don't think so. I think
She put in her social security.
I'm pretty sure.
so we're
Yeah,
ready
I've
to
already
go.
given them my address and my savings.
Your social? The
Okay,
last 12 of your bank account?
Yeah.
What is it, Victor Bernardo? What?
This is behind the Patreon, right?
No.
No, this is free.
We're just doing it.
We didn't say anything bad.
No, we haven't. It's all factual.
What did I say bad?
We didn't say anything bad. Oh, that he wanted to fuck me?
I'm just saying.
Well, we're
that-
assuming.
I'm
We're
assuming that.
assuming.
We're not saying that he did.
Exactly.
We're assuming.
I'm assuming he wanted to fuck me when I was thin.
I don't ever feel like he wanted to fuck me, which is making me feel bad about
Did you
myself
meet
right
him
now.
when you
Yeah, of
first
course
came
I
here?
met him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was here way before
Maybe
he
he
was.
didn't want to fuck me, but I think he wanted to fuck you.
I think every girl that he came in contact with.
Yeah, that
God.
makes sense.
You ever feel like really bad? Like girls talk about guys and they're like, oh, he hits on everyone. And you're like, oh, right. Oh, right. Yeah. Totally me too.
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
he did the other day. With
yeah.
me.
Maybe it was when he didn't look at me that time when I said hi to him and he didn't pick his head up. Was that him playing hard to get?
It's so funny because we had this comic over the other night that's dating also, like they're like on TV shows have their own show and they're dating each other.
Ooh.
I'll tell after.
Can't wait.
Ooh.
And the stuff that they were like, the one girl was in the couple was like, oh, my photo gets used for catfishing all the time. And she gets crazy DMs and she has stalkers.
Right.
And then her boyfriend also has a stalker. That you're like, yeah, these are problems that you guys are having.
I want to be
like,
pretty
this
enough
is not
for
a
that.
relatable thing.
I want to be pretty enough one day that people use my picture for a catfish.
Oh, yeah.
And people are like, what? This girl's not real. There's no shot this girl's
I
real.
think
She's
that
so
picture.
pretty.
I think that picture could definitely be used.
My
You could do
my
a reverse
headshot.
Google search on that and see if it's being
It's
catfished
not.
right now.
It's not.
I was trying to do a joke that I found out my photo was being catfished, but to sell insurance in the Midwest.
Now, I'm going to show you a picture. Does this look like Victor?
Could be, but it's not.
It's not Victor.
Maybe it's his brother.
Excellent point.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If I saw that man in the street, I would say, "Hello, Victor. Why have you never hit on me?"
Yeah.
He'd be like, well, what are you doing today?
Yeah.
And then I
Well,
would be
now
like,
he's
"Ah."
married.
He is married. I'm
Not
glad
that
he was always a nice
changes
guy, so
anything.
I'm glad he's married. I hope it works out for him.
He was also dating Caitlin Bailey, who's also married.
Oh, I didn't know. Is
She
she
got
married?
She got married. Yeah.
Congrats, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
I don't know if she listens.
I'm glad
but
that you assume that she listens to the podcast. Caitlin's a vaggie.
That's awesome.
She's
for
our
her.
number one vaggie. Always emailing.
Yeah, everyone's married.
I left a meeting the other day, and I guess at a 12-step meeting, and I had said something about having a boyfriend. When I left, they congratulated me. I was like, "What?"
You're like,
Adrian, you have a boyfriend.
I know. I was like,
Adrian.
"It's not hard to get a boyfriend."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What do you guys?"
You're like,
get?
I didn't even say he was a good one. I just said he was
I just
alive.
have a boyfriend. I know, but it's weird because the one girl was like, "I need to be hanging out with you," and I'm like, "Why? That's not how you think you're going to meet a guy hanging out with me."
Yeah, because now all the guys are gonna flock to you because they're like,
And
she
she-
has a boyfriend.
Well, she goes, "Well, I was at a wedding and a guy asked me to dance, and I said no." And I'm like, "Well,"
Cool story, bro.
she was like, "And then he danced with somebody else." I was like, "Well, yeah, he's not going to wait for you." I mean,
He was also my 75-year-old uncle, but you know
Yeah.
that's neither
so
here nor
crazy.
there.
That
Should
is
have get off
funny.
the pot.
It is funny when you get congratulated for something that you're like, am I retarded?
Yeah, where you're just like, "What's happening that I'm getting congratulated?"
Or
on
when
having a
people like
boyfriend?"
compliment you, like, oh, you look so pretty today.
And you're
Yeah.
like, what do I look like?
You're like,
every
me?
day?
Well, have you ever brought a
Little
cake to
me?
a party? Or like when you bring a cake to a party and they're like, "Oh my God, this is so good. What'd you do?" And you're like, "It's just Duncan Hines." Like, but the way that they treat you about it, you're like, "Am I stupid?"
Special?
that
They're
I
like, you put
can't
it in the oven
eggs
by
together?"
yourself? Sarah.
How did you do that? You're
Sarah,
like,
you
"Well,
read it? You read it?
It's on a box and
When
like,
my
I just
mom
put it
used to make,
together.
You have an
remember
oven?
how like you made cupcakes for your birthday in school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had so many dogs that my mother would always get dog hair in them.
And they'd be like, oh, it's Adrian's birthday. That's right.
Yeah.
You were
Those are
probably
details
like,
that I love, like
About my
just-
family?
Well, just knowing that like you coming in with cupcakes and then the classmates
And being
are
bummed
like,
out, and everyone's bummed out.
be like,
They're
is this
just-
a cupcake or a golden retriever?
I'd be like, a little bit of both. It's Brenda.
Hey, do you guys like dogs?
it's Brenda.
Because do I have the cupcake for you?
Yeah, that's so funny.
This is another big childhood memory of mine. We lived
Okay.
in this apartment. I think I've told you this before, but we lived in this apartment building that my grandmother owned, and it was like only 4 apartments, but like run with roaches. And like before we'd go in, only in the summer though, and then before we go in the house, my mother would have to mentally prepare to stomp on them. So
Well, at least she didn't think it was normal.
no, she would just go in there with like her high heels and just be stomping on roaches.
She would wear her roach heels.
Ah,
I guess
it
whatever.
must
heels.
have been a lot.
I mean, I
I
don't
mean,
even.
once you have an infestation, it's hard to get.
It's
them
hard to get rid of
They
them.
live there forever.
Yeah, you have to.
It did
leave
go
and
away
just
eventually,
completely
but like
nuke
my
it.
grandmother would like try and get an exterminator, and then they would just come back.
Well, because it was connected.
It must be near a restaurant or something.
Nope.
Was it connected to other apartments? Like, was it a?
2 upstairs. It was just an apartment building, but there was 2 upstairs.
But it was a
2 downstairs.
freestanding building.
Yeah.
And she couldn't get rid of them.
I think she lied to us.
I think
about
she lied a lot.
I don't think she got an exterminator.
I think she probably sprayed Windex around and was like, I don't know.
They should be gone any day now.
Yeah. One time we thought we had a mouse, so
Aw.
we borrowed my friend's cat.
People do that.
And then in the middle of the night, I went to the bathroom, and I don't know if I stepped on a mouse or not. I just ran back into bed.
Adrian, that's so cute though.
You love mice.
I love mice. We were walking in the West Village together, remember? And I was like, and we saw the rats running out of NYU.
She loves them.
I think they're cute when I see them
I
on the
love
train
them.
tracks.
Boo.
and
Love
scurrying.
them. That was the
Boo.
best part about taking the train for me. It was when
Boo.
I would look at the tracks and like
cute.
look for the rats. I'd be like, oh,
You're both gross.
Hi, little buddy.
Yeah. And I always say
Yeah.
hi. I wave to them. I love them.
I saw a guy hawk a loogie onto one
That's not
time,
nice.
and I was like, there's part of me I was like, that is so mean, but also like a little bit hilarious just to have a rat that you're the rat with the loogie on your back.
I mean, it's
Kinda
not bad
mean.
enough that
It's
you're a
kinda
rat.
It is
It's
mean.
mean.
I don't like that at all. I love a good rat. Like
I
if
don't.
I would like to have a rat. Like rats are very smart. You could train them like dogs.
Yeah. Did you see the
Great.
one that what they put in a maze and then he figured out just to climb the wall and like scurry across it?
Yeah, he's
He
very
probably had a
smart.
little bit of autism. That's something. That's something an autism rat would figure out.
You think he was
there's
on
a
the
lot of
spectrum?
there's a lot of rats that are not figuring that out.
He was a smart one. I no, like to be honest with you, like living in New York City for me is a little bit hard because I go outside and like we have a lot of squirrels and I want to pet them and they just don't want me to
My
pet
grandmother used to
squirrels
feed
are
them,
never
and then
nice.
she got bit by one. She had to have
Rabies shot?
in her stomach.
Yeah. Why is that
I
the one
mean-
place that you have to get rabies shot?
I don't know. Maybe because there's fat around there or something. I don't know.
I don't know, but I really want to pet one.
Okay, well, be prepared to get.
Like also we have a
Shots
lot
in
of
your
raccoons
stomach.
here by my house and I always like I look at that and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's
I-
nice to see a little nature in the city.
and you know sometimes they travel in families.
yeah.
So it's like the mama raccoon, the daddy raccoon, and then in the spring, the baby raccoons are the cutest things you'll ever see
And then you see them get taken away from their families.
by CPS because they didn't have a good sewer to live in.
Yeah.
It's so sad. And I always want to pet them. And I'm like,
Don't.
I can't. They don't even let me go near
You know
them.
what's really cute?
Well, they also have a lot of
Chipmunks are
fleas.
cute.
I love chipmunks.
Chipmunks
You
are
can't
really
get close
cute.
to them at all.
They're very quick.
Just picture
very,
you
very quick.
I know. I try
trying to
to
catch them.
I
I'm
try to
not.
pet
I'm not
everything.
even remotely fast. So it's like I'll just look at it and it starts running.
Yeah.
And there's no way I'm catching them.
I do
Well,
like to pet things though.
Right now, I'm into that news story in Las Vegas. Somebody's putting tiny little hats on pigeons.
Oh.
And so the
How are they putting
SPCA
them on
I
there?
have no idea, but I'm into it. But the animal service is trying to remove them.
Yeah, because I'm sure that it's not great for the pigeon head.
It's probably like glued on there.
Oh, that's so sad.
But if you saw the one pigeon in it, you're like, he looks really good in it.
He looks handsome.
It's like he looks hot.
Remember that picture you found where you're like, I'd fuck this pigeon.
Well, that's nice then. I mean, it is.
You can see a little sex appeal behind it.
But you don't.
If he's just smoking a cigarette also.
yeah.
Well, I wouldn't fuck a pigeon if it smoked.
If it ate you out really well.
With that beak?
Well, maybe that's how it hits your clit.
I don't know, but to be honest with you, like we have
put
so many
seeds on it.
pigeons. We don't need pigeons looking hotter because then they're gonna have more sex and there's gonna be more pigeons.
That's a really great point.
You
I'm
know,
sure a lot of them die during the snow, like when it's cold out.
you would be surprised. They're
You think
pretty resilient.
They're making it.
I think they're
Yeah.
making it.
Also, I just wonder how you're getting a pigeon to stay still so that you could glue this to
Probably
its
just
head.
food, seeds.
Yeah. Well, you showed that one video of that Asian girl that took the pigeon
Oh,
and
yeah.
then fed it in
Yeah.
its mouth. Have you
She
seen
breastfed
that?
it?
No.
Oh
I don't know.
no.
They were feeding like innocently, and this little girl just takes a pigeon, and it looks like she's about to snap its neck,
Right.
and then she pulls it in, and she puts bread in its mouth, and then lets it go. But you're like,
then
what
the-
a psychotic
But yeah,
kid.
the little girl takes the bread out though.
Does she really?
Yeah, that's what.
Oh,
they're
I
doing.
did
the
see that.
mother's
Yes.
feeding it, and then the little girl is a fatso.
Yeah,
Ah.
she takes it out of the mouth. So
and then
she
the
can
mom
eat it.
goes, "Stop!"
Yeah. She was eating the bread out of. She was like, I have been
Yeah.
on this low carb diet for so long. You keep giving all my bread to the pigeons. I am starving. Yeah.
Oh, it's a great video.
I think we should wrap up soon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because
you
how long
getting
have we done it?
hungry?
I'm getting.
55 minutes.
Oh yeah. That's
Oh
great.
yeah, this
has been
we're
a
in
lot of
peak
fun.
form.
This is
I think we could
amazing
talk
amount of fun.
forever though.
Let's do
We're
it forever.
ladies.
We
Ladies love to gab.
Okay, guys, this episode's special
That's
because
our new
it's
song.
forever.
Ladies love to gab, gab, gab.
I don't know that.
I want to
song.
wear like a suit that they weren't designing women.
Oh yeah.
Ladies like to gab.
What's that
gab,
from?
gab. And then we just have those big phones that they used to have.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and like shoulder pads.
yeah.
I
Yes.
love a good
And
shoulder
big
pad.
hair.
Yes.
Very 80s. I really like that.
Do you want to promote all your stuff? You have all the podcasts.
I have every podcast that's not
Tracy's
this
on
one.
every podcast.
It's mine.
and she's very successful.
Thank you. I'm very, very wealthy.
That's why we're doing this at your home.
This is
instead
my
of
home
car.
studio. This is
Your home studio.
this
yeah.
is one of my homes.
so fun to talk like that. Just like Trump. I am very wealthy.
I'm very wealthy.
Everybody loves me.
This place is huge. Huge. Yeah. So I have two podcasts. One of them is called Teen Mom Trash Talk, which is just like so wholesome. And then we have 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk. Those are my two favorite shows. And I have a new podcast coming out called Only in New York. And it's going to be available January 23rd with my co-host Hemda from Keith and the Girl and Andrea Allen from Hot Mess Comedy Hour. So
Nice.
yeah, we have those coming out. And if you want to come see me live, which is a treat for you guys,
when you're not vacationing in Malibu.
I holiday. I don't really vacation,
Oh,
but
okay.
sure.
Sorry.
I know the difference.
I'm not ready.
You can go to TracyCarnazzo.com and you could follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Trixie Tuzini, TrixieTuzzini.
That's amazing.
done.
And
Thank
also,
you.
Tracy may be doing some fill-ins while Sarah's traveling a little
gone.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna go
Work on my
help
cancer.
people in Africa.
That's so,
So-
nice of you.
So
Yeah.
Tracy may do a couple of guest episodes.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
And
that'd be
here
great.
at Vag, we love Tracy.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I love you guys. I'm the biggest Vag fan ever.
I know, and that's why it's only appropriate.
Yeah. I listen to you guys all the time,
Oh my God, this is so
mostly
cool.
when I'm driving or putting my makeup on.
That seems like a good way to watch Vag.
Yeah. Or sometimes in the bathtub.
That's perfect. Very feminine.
Yeah.
Also, Sarah's taping an album.
February
Sarah,
9th.
I will
February
be
9th.
there.
Is it
New
at
York
New York
Comedy
New York
Club.
Comedy Club? Where can they get tickets? NewYorkComedyClub.com?
Yeah, I'm going to start promoting. I'm actually trying to make a little video promotion for that, but I should just put the link up anyway for
Yeah, for
to get
sure.
it going.
Where could we follow you on Instagram and Twitter?
at Stolemache, STOLLEMACHE.
Amazing.
The Degenerates comes out New Year's Eve on Netflix.
Yeah, it does.
If you watch it and hate it, keep it to yourself.
Right.
That's what I'm telling people.
Yeah.
But if you like it, tweet it, hashtag it. So
Yeah.
then Netflix
Honestly, even
knows
if you
that
don't like it, if you listen to this podcast, you should be supporting
You
Adrian
should,
100%.
and you should not
Yes.
be. You should not be surprised by the awful stuff I say.
No.
it's called Degenerates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they cut my Parkland joke out, so maybe I'll put that on the top tier.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be
So-
really fun. And where's your social media?
Instagram's just my name, Adrian, ADRIENNE, and the last name IAPALUCCI. So long.
And then
I feel the
Twitter.
same way.
Twitter's Appalucci.
Okay. I mean, you produce some pretty good content, both of you. I really enjoy following you both.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, content.
That's like a hug I never got.
Oh my God. I will give you both hugs. And I think you're both very pretty. Thank you both
Oh my
for
God,
having
you're also
me.
beautiful.
Oh my God, thank you. Stop it.
We're all gonna go scissor.
This is
Okay, that's a 3-way scissor. I've never done that before.
crazy.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.